What's up, guys? Check this out. 2011 Jeep Liberty with a 3.7 liter engine. Customer's complaining about his AC and his heater not working, but really what's happening here is that the blower motor is not turning on, so obviously nothing's gonna work, right? So I'm down here under the passenger seat and I want to go over the wiring diagram and show you guys some tests. And this time I'm going to use my scope because everything on this one is computer controlled. The front blower motor power module, that's aka the resistor, they call it a power module, and the blower motor is controlled by that. And then they have the AC heater control. So everything, all the signals, I think it's duty cycled or pulse width modulated, I'm not sure, but I want to use my scope and I want to go over every signal that's supposed to be there so that you guys know what you guys are going to be looking at and what every signal is supposed to be looking like. So let me show you the diagram, I'll explain it, and then we'll do some tests so we can figure this one out. All right, so here's our wiring diagram, and I went ahead and highlighted the circuit that we're going to be working with here. So right here you can see our blower motor, and then right above it you can see the blower motor power module, which is our resistor. But they call it a power module because this is all computer controlled, and I'm pretty sure there's like a circuit board in there, and there's no more resistors like they used to be back in the day. So our blower motor, our resistor, and then up here is our AC heater control unit, which is our knobs where we control the AC. So this one right here, our dark blue wire at the blower motor, comes straight from the tip-em, and that I believe is a power feed to the blower motor. And then the next wire, the dark blue brown, is our control for the blower motor, which comes from the resistor. That resistor sends out a signal, and it should vary the signal to control blower motor speed. The next one, pin number 4, is a dark blue wire. That is also a power feed, as you can see from this splice right here, and that one comes from that tip-em. So if we don't have 12 volts here, then we'll go back to the tip-em and check, but that's gonna be our first check. Then I'm gonna move up here, and then I'll move my way up. Pin number 3, which I don't have highlighted, it goes straight to the AC heater control. It comes from there. That is the one that sends the signal to the resistor. Then the resistor says, okay, let's turn on the blower motor. And then pin number 2, which is our black wire, that is a ground. And these 4 wires are up here by the resistor, on the resistor. And then these 2 are on the blower motor. So I'm gonna do all these tests down under the dash, and I'm gonna keep you guys focused on the scope while I do these tests because it's kind of hard to show you up under the dash, but I'll tell you which wire I'm on so that you guys know what signal you're supposed to be looking for and what it's supposed to look like. Check it up, I got my scope set up. I don't think there's gonna be any super fast signals here, so we should be able to catch everything on a graphing meter. And I'm just gonna be using my black and yellow lead up on top, just a power and a ground to do some basic testing of that circuit. So let me see what's here. Channel 1 probe, volts, let's go volts DC. We don't want to do any of this. Look, first thing I got to do is find a good ground for my scope lead. So what I'm going to use is my little LiO adapter, hook it up to the cigarette lighter. Let me show you over here. Right here, and I'm gonna turn the key on so that when that light lights up, I know that I got a good power and ground there at that little tester. Okay, you know what, I'm actually gonna run the car. I'm gonna start it up so that I won't drain the battery. All right, now that I got that little tester on there, I can hook up my scope lead to ground, so I know that's a good ground. And just to check it, I'm gonna use the other, I'm gonna use this test lead and touch on the red pin. And you can see on my scope that I do have 12 volts right there. So that is good power and ground right there. So I'm gonna go start doing some tests down under the dash, and we'll go figuring this one out. So the first pin I'm gonna go to is this. We're gonna work our way from the bottom up. So I'm gonna go with the dark blue wire. So I'm gonna go to pin 2 of the blower motor, dark blue right here, and I should have 12 volts. So let me keep you on the scope while I do that. You know what, I think I'm gonna show you that way so that you guys can see the live number right there. So I'm going under. Okay. All right, so that right there is pin 2, dark blue wire. We got 12 volts, actually 14.5 because the car's running. So that is a good power feed to the blower motor. And with the system off, we should have the same thing on the next wire. So I'm gonna move over onto the other side of the blower motor and we should have the same thing. Okay, that's the other wire. That's the dark blue with the brown. So that tells me that my blower motor is intact. There's no open in that circuit. There's no open in the blower motor. If there was 12 volts on one side and 0 on the other, then that would indicate an open circuit in the blower motor. So far so good. I got 12 volts coming in there. Those 12 volts with the system off, those 12 volts should go through that wire and end up over here at the resistor. Once that resistor commands the blower motor on, then those 12 volts should change and drop depending on how the system is controlled. So far 12 volts, and I gotta go up to the resistor on pin 2, dark blue brown, and I should see the same 12 volts there. Okay, I'm going up to the resistor now. On pin number 2, dark blue brown. Okay, that's pin number 2, dark blue brown, and I got my 12 volts. So that tells me that wire from the resistor out to the blower motor is good. Okay. After that, the next wire up is pin number 4, dark blue, and that is our blower motor supply. So I should have 12 volts there, and that one splices up right there. You can see where it splices with the other wires. So if I got 12 volts there, then that's a good power to feed to that resistor. Pin number 4, dark blue. Okay. Okay, that's pin number 4, dark blue, and that same thing. I got a good power feed there. So far we're looking good. Got a good power feed on that resistor. So no open in the wire so far. Let's keep checking here. Okay, so then the next one is our blower motor control, pin 3, the one that's not highlighted. That one comes from up here from the AC heater control. So I'm gonna back probe that blower motor control, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the blower motor at the knobs, and I should see some kind of signal change there. So I'm gonna back probe here at the resistor, and then we're gonna look for a signal. Okay, I'm back probed on that blower motor control, and I got a 12 volt feed, and that's good. Now what I'm gonna do is turn, here, let me do this. I'm gonna turn on right there. I think that'll be good. I'm gonna turn on the AC right here, and we'll see if we get a signal change there. And there it is. So it looks like it's duty cycled. That is one turn of the knob. Let me turn it again, and again, and again. Okay, so right there we went down to about, what, 5 volts. So there's good control from the AC control unit down to the blower motor resistor. Okay, you can see that when I turn the knob. You can just see that, right? So what does that tell us right there? That tells us that this HVAC control unit is doing its job. It's sending the power, the signal out to the resistor. And do we have another wire to check here? Let me see. Okay, let me go check the ground. That's the last one. That's a black wire there, pin number 2. And we'll check that right now. Okay, I'm on that black ground wire, and you can see that is a good ground right there. So we have everything that we're supposed to have at the blower motor resistor, but we're still not getting the fan to come on. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go over to the blower motor on the dark blue green, and I'm gonna see what kind of signal we get there when I command the blower motor on. I said dark blue green. I know it's a dark blue brown, my bad. Okay, so 12 volts. Let's see what happens when I turn the blower motor on. You can see the signal drops a little bit. Turn it all the way, and it only drops to 12 volts. I think that should be dropping more. So it looks to me like I got a bad blower motor resistor. We have our power, our ground, we have our blower motor control. I am back probed on this dark blue brown, and I should be seeing less than 12 volts so that this blower motor turns on. Because if we have our power here, we should have a ground here, or at least a duty cycle pulling it to ground so that that blower motor turns on. Right now it looks like a bad blower motor resistor, aka front blower motor power module, because they want to get fancy with us. So here, let me turn off the blower motor up here, and we're back to battery voltage there. I took off the glove box and I can see the blower motor resistor right up in here. So let me just explain the wires that I was testing. I could have shown you this, but I already did all the testing, so I'm about to take it off, but I just want to show you. From the left, that is our black wire, that's our ground wire. Then the next one, that little wire, that's the one that comes from the AC module over here on our left. The next one, this dark blue wire, that is our power feed to the transistor that comes from the tip-em. And then this wire, the last one, that's a brown, that's the dark blue brown that goes out to the blower motor. So I'm gonna take this off right now, put the new one on there, and then we'll do some retesting over here. All right, guys, so I got the new resistor in there, the new power transistor, whatever they call it. All right, that is a new one. I didn't show you how to replace it, but it's just a T20 right there and a T20 right there, and you can take it off. Just pull down your glove box and it's easy to access. So this is the reason why they call this a power transistor, because it actually is a little module. It's like a little computer that controls the speed for the blower motor. And now I'm gonna do some other tests and see what our good signals are supposed to look like on the resistor. I'll keep you focused right there. Okay. And I'm just gonna back probe. First, I'm gonna back probe the signal wire that comes from the HVAC module, which is the little wire. I'm not gonna show you that. I'm just gonna keep you on the scope. Okay. I'll leave you guys right there, and then I'm gonna turn on the AC. I'm gonna turn on the blower motor so I can show you that, just so you guys have an idea of what's going on here. So I'm gonna turn that on, and we'll see. We'll keep. Okay, so that's what our scope is looking like right now. That's on the second setting. We'll move over to the third setting. Fourth. Okay. You can see the voltage dropping. Fifth. Six. Seven. Now I don't know if you can hear that, but the blower motor just kicked in. You can hear the blower motor. Okay, we'll go full speed on this one. Actually, that is full speed. That's almost a full ground on that control wire. So that's what it's supposed to look like. You're supposed to see changes in voltages. Okay, now remember what I said, that this was a duty cycle signal, so we can actually go over to duty cycle and see the percentage on the control wire. Okay, that's what, 45%. Turn it up a notch, that's 54%, and that is our duty cycle in percentage, as you can see right there. So we'll go another notch. That's 55, 64, higher, 74, and we're going off the screen here. Let's see if I can lower it. Come on. Okay, let me go full blast on this. So that right there is what, 85%. That took us off the screen, but you can see the duty cycle in percentage. You can see it dropping right there. That's me turning it all the way down. So it's a duty cycle. Let me go over now to the wire that's on the blower motor. So that's our signal wire coming from the HVAC module to the power resistor, power transistor. Now I'm gonna switch over to the output, the dark blue and brown wire that goes to the blower motor. So let me take you back to a voltage. Okay, we're on a 20 volt scale right there. All right, so I'm on that dark blue brown wire. So I'm gonna turn on the fan, blower motor. Okay, that drops to 10 volts. Give it another notch. 8 volts, keep going. 7, another one, 6, 5. Okay, so the higher the speed, the lower the voltage. So it's pretty much grounding that circuit, and that's what a good circuit looks like. Turn that off, and it goes back to battery voltage. So that right there is what it looks like. That is how you test this circuit. This is a power transistor, power, what they call a front blower motor power module. I still can't keep that in my mind, but AKA resistor. So that's how you guys test this circuit. Now remember, keep in mind that if you have a bad blower motor resistor, power transistor, don't forget to check your amperage on your blower motor, because that blower motor could be drawing a lot of amps. That may be the reason why this one went bad. So let me just real quick just go ahead and put an amp clamp around that blower motor, and then we'll see if we'll see what the amperage looks like, and then that'll give us an indication of, do we need to replace that blower motor before it fries this one. You know, it's kind of like that cause and effect thing going on here. So let me do that real quick for you. All right, this is my connections for the amp clamp right there. So I just piggybacked the ground right here, and I'm gonna be using the blue channel so you guys can see the amperage right there. So let me turn on channel 3 right here, and I'm gonna turn that over to amperage. Low amps 20. I don't think it should drop more than, let me put that on a 20 amp scale just to be sure. So I have both signals right there. Okay, I'll leave you guys right there. So basically I got my amp clamp right here. I'm gonna set it on 20 amps, and then I'm gonna zero it out. So that's me zeroing it out right there, 0. And I'm just gonna clamp it around one of the wires that goes to the blower motor, and we'll see. I'm gonna turn it on and we'll see what we have there. Okay, I'm around one of the blower motor wires now. And now, let me just bring these a little bit lower. Let me turn on my blower motor right there. Okay, so that's like the 3rd speed. Let me see how much amperage we're drawing there. It's about what, 5 amps? Yep, that's 5 amps. Let me turn it higher. 6 amps. Here, let me turn it all the way now. Okay, so that's full speed. We got about 14.5 amps. We're off the screen here. Let me just make sure that looks okay. So 14.5 amps. Let me show you what that looks like. We're looking about 14 amps on that blower motor circuit. That doesn't look like high amperage to me on a high speed. So that's it. I'm gonna end the video right here. Let me turn this off. So all right, that's it for the video. Hopefully it wasn't overkill for some of you guys. I showed you how to test every single wire on the resistor, aka power transistor, aka power module, and then I showed you the blower motor test. So hopefully it wasn't overkill, hopefully it wasn't too much, but I think it's necessary for everybody to know how to test these new transistors, see how they work and what kind of signals you're looking for. If you guys like the video, don't forget to drop that thumbs up, share it, like it, comment, and then if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and then hit that little bell so you guys get notified when I drop new videos. So I'm gonna end it here. I'll see you guys on the next one.